I'm Cheryl Wills. Today, we turn our attention to the digital backbone of New York City, our technological infrastructure, which vibrates through the air and is not classified as a public utility. But many believe it should be because our vast digital landscape affects virtually every aspect of our lives. And our guest on this Sunday is New York City's Chief Technology Officer, Lisa Gelobter. It's her first television interview since being appointed by Mayor Mamdani in February. The commissioner will explain why digital equity is one of her top priorities. Plus, WeWork is making a comeback. After a stunning downfall, the commercial real estate company has reinvented itself. And later, in case you missed it, how adorable are they? We talk exclusively to the director of the chorus who scored a major goal. We salute the 4th and 5th graders from Staten Island who rocked the halftime show during the World Cup final last Sunday. All that and so much more happening now on In Focus. Let's begin today's conversation with Lisa Gelobter. She is New York City's Chief Technology Officer and Commissioner of the Office of Technology and Innovation. It is great to have you here, Commissioner.
So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And congratulations on taking over this very important job as CTO. And you are taking this to the next level. You are really excited about the PIT crew. Tell our audience what that is.
Absolutely. The PIT crew is actually Public Interest Technology Crew, and it's a group of technologists that are going to try to really serve the needs of New Yorkers really quickly. So we'll partner with agencies, we'll find projects that can be solved in 12 weeks, but that are really address the needs of New Yorkers and things that are aligned with the Mamdani administration, right?
What kind of projects are you talking
about? So our first project that we have officially announced is about click to cancel. So the Department of Consumer and Worker Protections announced this rule last week, and it is about the idea that if you subscribe to something, it should be just as easy to unsubscribe, right? Because we all know we have these magazines, online, digital subscriptions, and I don't remember my password anymore. And every month I see a charge come in through my credit card. I have no idea how to make it stop. And so the fact that this is what's going to be implemented, I think is going to be game changing.
So how is your office going to monitor that?
So it's not our responsibility to monitor. Our job as a technology organization, as a technology team, is to enable it, right? And so it's really the agencies who are the experts in the policy, in the things that are going to work for New Yorkers, and then we just help them figure out how to make it work, right? So in this day and age, technology, policy, government are so intertwined, and so we're going to set up the facilities to make it happen.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And you bring a lot of experience to the table, Commissioner. You worked at the U.S. Department of Education. Tell us what you learned there that informs your current position.
Yeah, it was a fantastic experience. So I was with the U.S. Digital Service under President Obama, which was founded in 2014. And as part of that, I was detailed over to the Department of Education. So I was the Chief Digital Service Officer there. And the idea behind the digital service generally is really about making technology, like things that we know how to do in private sector that happen all the time, right? You now carry a supercomputer around in your pocket, right? And so how do we take those same best practices, innovative approaches, and apply them in government, right, to better serve the needs of either New Yorkers or citizens, right, people who have to interact with and deal with government. And so that was the founding of the U.S. Digital Service. And so one of the projects that I got to work on was something called College Scorecard. It was my first project there. And the idea was President Obama had made a promise or had suggested that right now, as people were looking at colleges, they were looking at the wrong things, right? How much money your school gets in donations, how successful your sports teams are, as opposed to looking at things that really matter, right? Access, affordability, and outcomes. So things like, if this college has a 12% graduation rate, you shouldn't go there, right? And so helping people get the right information and make informed choices and help change the conversation about college. And so we built College Scorecard, which in just over 3 years was credited with improving college graduation rates in the US by 1.5 points.
Yeah, and that's part of the whole digital equity narrative that you're also passionate about. We're going to talk about digital equity in our next section, but I want to talk about Big Apple Connect.
Yeah.
Because you're inheriting that.
Yes.
And tell us how you're taking that to the next level.
I mean, the thing that I love about it is basically we are providing free internet and cable to 330,000 New Yorkers. And like, what could be better than that? And you know, today, in today's digital age, it is so important, being connected is so important for education, for work, for health opportunities. So much is tied up into it. And so the fact that New York City can provide it to folks in NYCHA housing, I think, can be game changing. And I'm so grateful that we're doing it.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. We're so glad you can stay with us for the entire program because we have a lot to talk about. So stay put. Before we go to a break, the City Council hosted a Black Community Media Roundtable. Journalists had the chance to talk with City Council Speaker Julie Menin and other members like Deputy Speaker Natasha Williams and Bronx Council member Kevin Riley about pressing issues.
This is extremely important for us in the council to get this information out there and also let them know who we are. A lot of way that we're able to communicate with people these days is through these publications. So
we know ethnic media is so critically important to certain communities of New York City, and we wanted to start to engage and build a relationship with these media outlets.
All right, In Focus returns right after this quick break. Hey, thanks for staying with us as we continue our conversation with Lisa Gelobter. She is New York City's Chief Technology Officer. I want to go back to digital equity, something you're very passionate about. There are New Yorkers who are not yet linked in to our massive digital infrastructure. What do you make of that, and what can be done to get them online?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the big issues is there's actually a lack of access and a lack of opportunity. And that is not on the communities that are currently disenfranchised or marginalized, right? And so the question is, how do we make sure that no community gets left behind and that we make sure that everybody is not just coming with, not just not being shut out, but specifically there are opportunities, I think, for everyone to harness the power of technology. And I think if we get that into the right hands, it can be game-changing for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And take us through your vision in this role, starting with using technology to what we were talking about as a public good. Is it time for the City of New York or the state to declare our digital services a public utility?
I mean, I think in an ideal world, that would be amazing. I think
because it is.
I mean, it is for everybody's good.
Yeah.
Right. There's no world where we can't live without technology, or digital is the world now. And so I think really thinking holistically about how to make sure that everybody has the right access and the right tools. Because to be clear, it's not just, do they have access to broadband, but do they have a computer at home? Do they have a phone at home?
Right.
Right. And so making sure, and even if they do they know then how to use it and how to also not be caught up in schemes or misinformation or fraud? So there's just layers and layers and layers to it. But I think it is our responsibility to make sure, again, that nobody gets left behind.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the first of its kind child care map.
Yes. No. And so this is it, the city provides a lot of services for New Yorkers, but if you can't figure out where they are, which ones apply to you, which ones you can apply for, do you or your child meet the requirements, it just makes it impossible to actually figure out where you're supposed to go and how to access them. Right. And so, yeah, we worked with the administration to actually develop a really simple to use map where people can go and filter, find child care providers that are near them, that are age appropriate for their child, whether it's home or in school. So it's just, it's going to make it makes the process way simpler.
Yeah, and it's mostly preschool, or is it also kindergarten and grade school?
This is in particular for preschool.
All for preschool,
Yeah.
okay. And you also have an initiative known as the Build, Measure, Learn approach.
Yeah, and the concept is really coming out of the gate, you don't know all the things. You have to learn. And so the idea of to build is like you start out with something really, really small, and then you see, did it go in the right direction? What can you take away from it? What should you do next? And so that's why it's build, measure, learn, right? You put something out that's small, and you build and build and build on top of that. You figure out, did you take a step forward? And then it's rinse and repeat. Right?
Rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, I want to talk about an issue that so many New Yorkers care about, the building of all these data centers, right? And AI. It's sort of a double-edged sword that kind of falls right into your purview. What are your thoughts on AI and the data centers that are springing up everywhere?
Yes, I will say in particular, data centers are not just a climate and environmental issue, but they are really a social justice issue, because where they are being built are not in the communities that are actually reaping the benefits and the rewards, right? And so when we think about data centers, I don't think the answer is to stop innovation and to stop progress, but right, again, no person left behind, right? Nobody, at what cost? And so we need to make sure that we're accounting for who is harmed, who benefits in every decision that we make around technology, period, full stop.
Full stop, okay. We're gonna take another break. In Focus continues right after this. And now, a flashback from our New York One archives, 2010. 16 years ago, WeWork makes a big splash in New York City.
Whatever your work is, we've got the space for it.
The company's goal was simple: provide flexible, stylish, co-working space for the growing freelance and startup economy.
We simplify the office.
And WeWork's early success in Manhattan laid the foundation for what would quickly become a global empire. During its peak in 2019, it was valued at an astronomical $47 billion. But when the company attempted to go public later that year, well, that's when things started to unravel. Massive financial losses were revealed, as well as flawed business models, and then the pandemic forced employees to work remotely, and WeWork filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2023.
WeWork was named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential companies of 2026.
Today, WeWork is reinventing itself with new leadership and new locations. While it remains to be seen if the company will ever reach its height, observers believe it's finally found the balance between a great idea and a viable reality. Appreciate you staying with us as we continue our conversation with New York City's Chief Technology Officer. So, Commissioner, there's a lot of talk about the lack of jobs now, especially for new college grads who are looking, especially in the digital sector, and you have a call to action. You are hiring.
Absolutely. I think they should all come work with us. I think what we're trying to do here at OTI in this new administration is really take technology to the next level. And what that means is we're changing the game, which means that we are in fact hiring. We're hiring technologists, and we need people who are skilled, who are really passionate about what they do, but also who are passionate about helping New Yorkers.
What type of jobs do you have?
So software engineers, product managers, user researchers, designers, data scientists, basically anything in technology. Again, if you have the skill set and the passion for doing good in the world, like that's one of the reasons why people will come into government rather than going to private sector.
Yeah, and let's talk about cybersecurity. New York City has a massive digital infrastructure, and Tell us what's being done to keep that infrastructure safe from hackers and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age,
That's a full-time job right there.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. In this day and age, that is so critically important, right? Because not only do we have to keep New York City government safe, we want to keep all data about New Yorkers safe. We also really want to help New Yorkers keep themselves safe. So across the board, the entire landscape, it's such an important role that we are playing, and we hope to continue to extend on that.
Yeah, I want to go back to your experience at Shockwave. You helped change the game. You like to say change the game. I like that. But you helped change the game about the way people use the internet, right?
Yeah.
How did you do that? What did you do exactly?
I mean, it was a time. Honestly, like it's been such a journey. My whole career in tech has just been an amazing experience because I have been kind of at the advent of this internet age. And so it was with a team at Macromedia at the time, which got acquired by Adobe eventually. But the idea was we introduced multimedia, animation, and interactivity to the web. We literally made the web move. It was static text and graphics. The web did not move before that. And just the creativity that came from it was groundbreaking. And just being able to support that and enable that. And this is what I say, like the through line for my career has been the democratization of access.
Yeah.
And so being able to help, right? I don't have to be the one changing things. If we can help others get into the right places so that they can innovate and create and do different things. That's what I feel like my calling is.
Yeah, and you've been passionate about that, like you said, your entire career. So let's again touch on the digital divide. Do you think it's widening or is it getting smaller over your career?
Over my career, I think it is. I think it is both yes and. I think it has done both.
Interesting. Explain.
Well, because when I very first started my career, there wasn't a digital divide because there wasn't digital. Right. But then as soon as there started to become digital, it became very exclusionary, very white, very male. And so many communities have in fact been left behind. I will say with the advent of some of the newer technologies, right, it makes things more accessible. And so the idea of having a supercomputer in your pocket, now, not everybody can afford a supercomputer.
Right.
But knowing that you can go to the library and know how to use technology to get what you need, to find out the information you want, like, I think that's all critically important. And so as long as the tools and resources are there, we can make sure that people are enabled.
Before I let you go, I want you to talk about your mom because your mom is a legendary journalist. Tell us about Barbara.
Yeah, my mom is Barbara Lamont, and she was a journalist. I'm sorry, she's still alive.
Trailblazing journalist.
She just is no longer a journalist.
Right.
Yeah, she was. She co-anchored Black News here in New York City. She worked for, I think, WCPS, WINS. I'm not going to remember them all.
Yeah.
But then she even took a group of 40 Black journalists over to Nigeria to help up-level the system of broadcasting there of news. And then she went on to own and operate a television station in New Orleans. And so she was the only Black woman owner of a television station in the country for, I think, about 3 years. And I mean, she is brilliant and so ahead of her time.
Absolutely. Give her my regards for opening the door that I could walk through.
Oh, that's so sweet. And she would love that.
And I know she's so proud of you as now the city's Chief Technology Officer. What a pleasure to have you here. Lisa Gelobter, again, Chief Technology Officer and Commissioner of the Office of Technology and Innovation. Wishing you the best.
Thank you.
And now, our final focus. In case you missed it, a group of talented students from Staten Island took center stage during the World Cup final halftime show last weekend. The PS22 chorus joined Coldplay and the Muppets to perform We Dance at MetLife Stadium. We spoke to the award-winning chorus director about what it was like being on a global stage.
For me, the coolest part of this experience I had never, in all my years of teaching, and it's my 25th year of doing the chorus this year, so what a capstone, I should say. I have never in my 25 years finished a performance and just saw so many kids just crying of joy. It was the most beautiful and proud moment of my career, and I'm just so joyful for these kids. I'm overjoyed that they had a moment that will last with and resonate with them for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, that's for sure. And by the way, this is not their first rodeo. The PS22 chorus also performed for President Obama's second inauguration, and they also took the stage at the Academy Awards. Bravo. Hey, thanks so much for watching In Focus. I'm Cheryl Wills. We appreciate you spending your Sunday with us. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. To keep up with important issues impacting our communities and hear more conversations with the people who are shaping the future, subscribe to our channel. You can also download our app or find Spectrum News on your TV for balanced, in-depth political coverage and more.